saying that they are sexually harassed by this or that. The same Akpabiole has 2 other women whose record are public. One of them knows the Nigeria that they live in, that he will never be punished, and she rather took her own pound of flesh by slapping the shit out of him. And then went on TV to say it. I slapped shit out of him. I know this is Nigeria, this is a lawless place. These guys are mostly untouchable. Nothing is ever going to be heard or what have you, right? Fine. But I took the law into my own hand. I gave him a slap. Or maybe next time, if you are being sexually harassed by Akpabiole, bite him and tell people that I left, a bite mark on his arm, or I left a bite mark on his penis. Something like that. Because when it comes to justice, you may never get one, ever. Not in a place where a lunatic is your vex lady. A throwback to the woman who was supposed to be a woman, or rather, rats in our own normal, typical nature, no matter how much package they put together. But they even put any package together to make Remy look different. This one.
I'm a joke in agbára Jésù ìtẹ́ ṣe bá ṣe nífẹ̀ẹ́ yìí tó ẹ̀bà jẹ́ àwa kan bínú à ń bínú ọmọ wa sísá mi tún wá lọ bímọ fún Ìgbò ṣé kí n lọ kó Obieze wá Obieze ilẹ̀ ti gbà bọ̀dé olórí Obieze ilẹ̀ ti gbà bọ̀dé ó tún lọ mú kámẹ́rà wá lọ lé ẹ̀ ní sinmi ẹ̀ ti gbà bọ̀dé a máa jogún yín ni àwa la máa jogún yín. Àgọ́ wa ló máa dáàdì yẹn ìgbẹ́ a máa jókòó yìí láì ṣe pé yìí nìkan ni aráàlú Haúsá wà bí àgbà wọn láyè Kàlàbá wà bí àgbà wọn láyè ẹ wá ń bèrè pé báwo ni tí wàá ṣe jẹ Ọlọ́run.
Nuisance leleyi.
So a woman that said Ama Jogun, we are going to inherit all the Igbos, which means they will inherit all your properties. Start something politically, chase you away from Lagos and claim your property. That's what she's saying in that video. And that was because the Igbos won't vote for Bokuwari in 2019. And to her, that is disobeying the directive of Tifnumbu. Tifnumbu directed you all that we are going to have to vote for APC. You Igbos are questioning that. We will chase you out of Lagos. And they have been working on that. Yes, they have. They've created the My Lagos is not your Lagos. Abi? In 2023, we all saw what happened. In 2027, you will all see what will happen again. These are the characters leading the system, leading the people. And at the end of the day, creating a system of hatred, division, tribal division, religious hatred. So all these things you are witnessing in that contraption today, orchestrated by these rogues, they are not coincidence. They are not accidents. All this hatred you are witnessing today online, offline, against the Igbos, Igbos versus Yoruba, Igbos versus this and that, the Ronukus and their gang, they are not coincidence. They are not an accident. They are not, one of our view. No. They are industrialized bigotry, industrialized hatred for political gain. No thanks to APC. You know? Obieze so body. You have all body. Let's leave that for now. Let's go back to that same Lagos. We are going to stay in that Lagos. You know? Yesterday, the supposed Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian military, they invaded. Hang on, I think they even gave us a name. Give me a second. I want to get a name of that place. Right. They said that it is called the Sam Ethnan. Yeah, Sam Ethnan Air Force Base in Ikeja. Baba, the story was that they were owing money. They were owing the electricity company. They were owing electricity bill of, we didn't know how much, by the way, then. So they were owing, and their electricity got disconnected. In anger, in rage, they invaded the office of the electricity company, attacked all of their staff, 10 of them hospitalized, their CEO locked in a trunk of a car, boot of a car. So this morning, it now it became clearer why that happened. About 4.3 billion naira. That's how much the Nigeria Air Force Base in Ikeja is owing the electricity company in Ikeja. If they haven't paid, they won't pay until they went on to attack the office of this electricity company. Watch this.
We came on board on the 1st of November 2013. And as far as this Ikeja, this Air Force Base on that road at Ikeja is concerned, their bill from 2013 November 1 until December 31st, 2022, their total bill was 7.5 million, 7 billion 553,153,000 naira. That's 7.5 billion.
This is as of
and they
2023.
Paid from 2013 to 2022, December 31st.
Okay.
So they were owing us 7.5 billion, thanks to the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, particularly Mr. Tunde Fashola, when he was Minister for Power. So they paid 4.3 billion, leaving an outstanding balance of 3.2 billion. That was before 2023, 2013 to 2022. So in 2023, they ran up a bill of 1.4 billion naira. And they paid, in 2023, they paid 1.2 billion naira. They refused to pay their arrears. The billing or the bill was not in contention. That was not the problem. But they were always doing this gra thing, reminding us all the time, and we are the one protecting Nigeria, as if there's no military in the USA or in Europe, as if they are not even paid for what they do, as if somebody is forcing somebody to go and become an Air Force personnel, because that's the blackmail. Now, so in 2023, the bill was 1.4 billion, they pay 1.2, remaining 191 million naira. So we kept on asking them to pay. In 2024, their bill went up slightly to 1.5 billion, and they paid only 623 million naira. Now, this is the catch. We can say with all sense of responsibility, this new government, when they came on board in 2023, this current president made it very clear to us and to our investors that they will pay MDA debt, military department agencies. And I know they were giving them money. That was why they were able to pay 1.2 out of 1.4 billion in 2023. Surprisingly, in 2024, out of a debt of 1.5, they only paid 623 million naira. What happened to the rest of the money? Between the Federal Minister of Defense and Ikeja Air Force Base and all these officers. Now, so the outstanding balance for 2024 was 893 million naira. So the summary is this. As of today, total debt is 4,340,566,000 naira. Now, this debt is the reason why we started asking them to pay. And the man we were dealing with, the Oga Parawata, who is higher than the President and Commander-in-Chief, and I will say what I mean by that. This gentleman is called Air Vice Marshal A.K. Ademulegun. So we had a series of meetings with him, but in June 2024, the people that we sent there to go and ask for payment were beaten up at Ikeja Air Force Base. That was the first problem we had with them. So on the 29th of July 2024, because of this non-payment, we now decided to write them a letter. So the MDC of Ikeja wrote them a letter telling them that we are sorry, we have to install a device called auto recloser. That auto recloser, the job of that is to enable us, as service provider, to manage supply of energy into any particular place. In other words, we can determine through that machine how many hours we can give that community or that place, depending on their pattern of payment, their ability to pay, or their willingness to pay. In the case of Nigerian Air Force, they are able to pay, but they just don't want to pay. The government will give them money, go and check their appropriation, the money will disappear along the line.
Okay.
So we send them the first letter. I just want you to know what we have done to try and recover amicably. First letter, because we have written 5 letters so far. So we wrote the first one to tell them about that auto recloser. Now with that, we can agree between us how many hours you want. We had a meeting with the AVM Madam Legun on the 3rd of October 2024. And he didn't like the idea of this auto recloser because they want to be using 24-hour electricity without paying. We now say, okay, give us access to install prepaid meter. So you pay as you go. There won't be any wahala. You put money, you get your light, you pay. 24 hours. Bandeo. Okay. And then this was on the 3rd of October. And we agreed as gentlemen between us and them. We said, while we are waiting for you to respond, we will ensure that you have 11 hours of supply using this equipment from October 3rd to October 7th. When they did not get back to us to tell us about payment plan or how they want to pay, so on the 9th of October, we wrote another letter to them, formally requesting for access to install prepaid meter. They ignored our letter. So on the 25th of November, 2024, we wrote another letter to say that on Monday, the 2nd of December, our contractor and technical staff are coming to your premises to install prepaid meter. And on that day, our people went there, the Nigerian Air Force authorities sent them back, blocked access, and they did not allow to install the meter. Then we noticed that they have vandalized and tampered with the equipment, auto recloser. They did that twice. They actually disconnected the communication cable, which is a criminal offense. For that reason, we now wrote another letter to them on the 17th of January 2025, detailing all that they have done, calling their attention to the law, to let them know that what they have done is against the law. And all these correspondence that we sent to them, including the last one on the 5th of March, we copied the chief of air staff, so he's aware. Wherever he is aware. We copied the AOC logistics. Okay. So after doing all of this, yesterday, in my own business, I had a meeting with them, came from Abuja day before yesterday. So I went there yesterday morning because they were going to commission a solar power project. On getting there, at 7:35 a.m., we just saw so many trucks, just like you said earlier, and they came started beating everybody, including pregnant women. They asked everyone to lie down on the floor. They brutalized everybody, including the chief technical officer of Ikeja, who is still in the hospital as I speak. And that's the man who is supposed to turn the light on. So I wonder how the presidency or anybody or the government will react to this kind of barbaric act.
They don't beat the person who is supposed to turn the light back on. They don't beat them to stupor. Beat them to coma. No, not coma, but stupor. Stupor is when you're like vegetable like that. They don't beat shit out of you. A lawless country. He's right. The corruption is the reason why the Air Force Base in Ikeja is in bad news. I mean, it's in the news for wrong reason right now. Okay? According to this guy that you heard, right, the money has been given, appropriated, but the money gone missing before it got to the supposed account department of the Air Force in Ikeja. And the only way they could resolve this is through the assault, attack. It is a lawless place. It is a lawless country. unfortunately. Somebody said, Ewa, waiting at it. Like, what exactly are they possibly producing in the Air Force Base in Ikeja? Did they grow weed? Because the only reason why you can be using such amount of electricity in a year, 1.5 billion, is a base, sha. Ikeja base, is it that big? Because from my own findings, right, from my own understanding, every person living in the place, if you are an Air Force personnel, okay, and you have your own house in the base, they will be deducting money for electricity from your salary. That's how it goes. That's how it works. They take money. They will deduct whatever you are using from your salary. Then they will now remit same to the electricity company. So plus the money from Abuja, plus the salary deduction of their staff, their personnel, none of this is really remitted completely to the point that 4.3 billion naira is being owed by the Air Force Base, and their only negotiating ticket is that they fought. They are the ones protecting you. They fought for the protection of Nigeria, the defense of Nigeria. You know, again, it is a lawless place where anything can happen. Imagine you working for an electricity company, and then you just resume to work that morning, getting to settle down and all of that, and then the next thing you hear is today, what happened? Run, or else, Baba, and you go end up in the hospital, like you went to work, from work to the hospital. Just imagine that for a sec, in a lawless contraption called Nigeria. And according to one of the staff, right, he said they destroyed, when they came in, the first thing they did was to start destroying the security cameras, the CCTVs. Then the next thing is to go after all the staff with phones and start destroying their phones, smashing everything they can smash, just to make sure that they cover up all the atrocities. Then they went into the building and start vandalizing everything they can vandalize. They also vandalized the man that was supposed to turn on the lights. You know? It is a lawless place. That's just a quick reminder. For those of you who might care to listen to this.
The head of corporate communications, Ikeja Electric. In my young adult life, I witnessed something that I've never seen today by men of the Air Force, some Air Force, Ikeja, who are our customers, and because of electricity supply and because of indebtedness, they invaded us, beat us up, carted away our laptops. You have gone in earlier, they destroyed the entire corporate headquarters of our business, as well as our Ocean business and other locations around Ocean.
Welcome to Nigeria. Even Akpati also added his own voice to this matter. Listen.
Finally, on Ikeja Electric. In the 80s, when Babangida was still president, we had the Mad Dog episode. The Mad Dog. It was the Nigerian Air Force, this same Nigerian Air Force that embarrassed Chief M.K.O. Abiola, and they were referred to as the Mad Dogs. To hear that in 2025, we have the return of the Mad Dogs of the Nigerian Air Force is very embarrassing. It's an indication of the kind of problems that we are having with this democracy. Now, Major General Air Marshal Hassan, I think that's the name of the Air Force chief, and the Chief of Defense Staff. They must look into this matter. Those crooks wearing uniform who took the law into their hands must be sanctioned. They must be identified, because the Nigerian Air Force operates under the Constitution of Nigeria. Nobody can say that they are above the law, whether you are wearing uniform or you are wearing camouflage. If you are owing, you pay for electricity. What they did at Ikeja Disco yesterday, I think is something that the Nigerian Air Force should publicly apologize for. If we don't pay electricity bills as civilians, they cut off our lights. So why should the soldiers be different? They must pay.
They must pay. That's it.
Well said.
Thank you.
They must pay. They must pay. Oh yeah, may everybody gather together. More go to that Air Force base as reminded. You must pay. You must pay. Everybody must pay. They must.